2020 continues. Here again, Jim Avila.
Lucy Johnson's 34th birthday, if she had lived. And for her fiancé, Mike Meade, Judgment Day. The jury announces they have reached a verdict after nearly 9 hours deliberation.
Well, I'm always terrified while I'm waiting for a jury. You can never be sure. People ask criminal defense attorneys all the time, how can you defend somebody that you know is guilty? Trust me, it is much harder to defend someone when you truly believe they're innocent.
And here it is, the verdict.
Michael Lane Meade, not guilty.
All right, members of the jury, thank you very much for your work on this case.
Not guilty on all counts. Mike Meade goes from dead man walking to find me the nearest exit.
Just thank God that I'm free. I fully expected not guilty.
Why were you not surprised when they said not guilty?
Because I had sat in the same trial for 7 weeks that they had.
And
if I was sitting on that jury, I would have been going, what in the world is going on with this case?
So 2020 gathered 11 jurors and returned them to their seats in the same courtroom for their first group interview, where it was clear that the defense strategy worked.
I don't understand how they were able to come to trial and not even give a second look at Jim Spivak.
A key element for the jury, Lucy's own words in her journal.
so Lucy Johnson herself told you, a juror, Jim Spivak did it.
If anything were to happen to me, Spivak did it. I mean, she wrote it down.
He wanted that son named after him, and she wouldn't do it.
And they thought Spivak had motive. The women's clothing Lucy said he bought for himself.
James Spivak was backed into a corner at this point. I think even desperate in that he needed to stop that from being out in public.
The jurors tell us in all Lucy's messages from the grave, they found not one word against Mike Meade.
There was never any entry in any of her journals about him doing anything aggressive to her at all.
I thought the state was really grasping at straws.
The evidence was overwhelming as far as Mike Meade not doing it.
And that's hard to hear, isn't it?
That's hard to hear.
The jurors saved their harshest criticism for the police, comparing them to a classic fictional North Carolina law enforcement buffoon.
I called them Barney Fife. In my mind, I said, we got a bunch of Barney Fifes.
I think Barney.
They don't have a clue what they're doing.
They blew it, and I think that's what bothers me about this case the most. And we do have a horrendous murder case that has not been solved. It leaves you wondering.
So whether it was bad police work, or prosecuting the wrong man, or perhaps the perfect crime that allowed Mike Meade to get away with murder, one thing for sure, no one thinks Lucy Johnson got justice.
Since Mike Meade has been tried and acquitted, and since you don't believe that there's anybody else out there that could have done the crime, Lucy will never get justice in your mind.
Not in my mind.
Today, Jim Spivak has full custody of his son, Kason, who after Lucy's death, he renamed James Spivak III. Mike Meade says, although he is free, he lives under a cloud of suspicion.
All right, well, we interviewed Meeks, okay? To this day, he thinks you did it.
Well, to this day, he's an idiot.
Where there's smoke, there's fire.
The evidence is cleared. I have no respect for Meeks. So, what Meeks thinks, I don't really care what I think. Matters is what the 15 jurors that heard the evidence think.
Meade has moved from South to North Carolina trying to live a new life.
Did it bother you that even though you were acquitted, there are people there to this day who believe that you got away with murder?
Well, sure, it would bother anybody. Oh, it's excruciating. It's excruciating.
Right now, Meade is in the middle of an open lawsuit charging his civil rights were violated, and he was falsely prosecuted by the Gaston County Police. The police say they cannot comment on a pending legal matter.
You ever close your eyes now and think about what it would be like if none of this happened? Where would your life be with Lucy right now? Do you do that?
Oh, yeah, of course. Yeah, I would have a wife, a beautiful wife, and a little boy, and yeah.
You miss her?
You know, yeah, I miss her.
The home where Lucy lived and died. Today, just a vacant lot. A driveway that leads to nowhere, like the dead-end investigation into her murder.
Anything help at all?
No, just my faith in God. That one day, the person that did this will have to face him. He's another judge.
Where all the evidence will be.
Right. Nothing's hidden from him. It'll be exposed.